Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great show lined up. And I was thinking the other day, I always say we got a great show lined up. Well, in my heart, I really feel like we got a great show lined up. Spent a lot of time in putting the show together, and we really enjoy doing it. And I hope most of y'all enjoy it. I know a lot of y'all do. So we'll get started with our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center. I was also thinking about the nursing program. They got a really good nursing program at Haney Technical Center. So run by and check that out if you get an opportunity. Now, the weather today is going to be high of 86 and low of 73, and I thought the unique thing about that, usually we have about a 20-degree swing during the day, but it's only going to be about a 13-degree swing, so it's going to be pretty humid and all, so we got a wind coming out of southeast. The water temperature is what's fascinating, though. It's 78 degrees. I was just checking the records a while ago. About 9 days ago, it was 73 degrees, so in 9 days, it's going up 5 degrees, and that's the biggest jump it's had all year. So it is really starting to bring some fish in, and it's a really that's a big jump on water temperature. Now the river readings. Take a look at Apalachicola at Bluntstown. I know a lot of y'all are going there tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend on both rivers. It's reading a 6.8. It's going to be falling out Saturday and Sunday. A slight fall on. That's the latest report on the Apalachicola at Bluntstown. The Choctaw Caraville is just going to be slow and steady. It's reading a 2.1. It's going to be right around 2 foot all weekend. It'll be an excellent weekend to get there. Hopefully this breeze keeps up and all. Now let's take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We've got a really good tide chart, tide situation today. The last day of May. Amazing how fast May is blown by. We're looking at a high tide at 125 right after lunch, and a low tide around midnight, around 11:25. So we've got an incoming tide all morning up until after lunch, and we've got a 1.2 foot range. So that's a good situation there. Our marine forecast coming out of southeast, and I mentioned this the other day. We've had a southeast pattern now for 3 or 4 days, and it's been really blowing. It's going to be blowing 10 to 20, so it's going to be breezy, and it's going to. So we're going to talk about the weather a little bit later. I know tomorrow's a big day with snapper season, and we're going to talk about it later also. But the weather, you've got to keep your eye on the weather now. It's got a couple of systems down in the lower end of the Gulf, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a big effect on us. I know people on smaller boats may not want to venture out, but if you've got some larger boat and all, it may be a little bumpy and all. But it's the first day of snapper season. A lot of folks are going to be going, but irregardless, now keep an eye on the weather. Just make sure get your last minute report on it. All right. I did call Sea Quarters Marina, talked to Kim down there, got a report, and she wrote down they've had a really good week. Now this breeze down there has kept them off the water too, so they haven't been able to go out and do any grouper fishing this week, but they've done real well in reds, trout, and triple tail. They're getting in some protected water by there behind Dog Island and St. George Island, and they've had really good luck on those three. All right, we'll take our first break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us this Friday morning. We'll get started with some pictures now. This is really interesting. Everybody wants to know about my boat. Well, I've got it right here. Check it. It's still for sale. I haven't had it advertised anything since I showed it the first time on here. Then I just sort of put it back in the garage. And now I've taken it down to Steve Petty's place. Steve Petty's got a boat lot down there close to Gulf Coast College. And let's just take a look at the boat first, okay? This is a good-looking boat, 2011 model, brand new. Folks, I got less than 2 hours on that motor. I've been out 4 times in it, and not 15, 20 minutes. It's been in saltwater 1 time. I went out of Eagle Harbor and made a circle and came back. I was just running the motor, just keep it running. But it's stick steering, nice, sweet boat, ideal, and it's like I said, it's almost brand new. It really is. So if you're interested, go by and see Steve Petty. Let me tell you where Steve Petty's place is. It's down at if you're going to Gulf Coast College, you leave in Panama City and head to Panama City Beach. And just before you get to Gulf Coast College, you have those railroad tracks there. Gulf Coast will be on your right. If you cross the tracks, on your left will be the Panama Port. Used to be the old shipyard. Well, right before you get to railroad tracks on the left is an old service station, but Steve got that place a while back, and he sells boats out of there. Y'all remember Steve Petty's been on the show, so he has my boat down there. So if you want to ride by there and just look at it and get the feel of it all and check it out, and I know Steve will make you a good deal. Steve knows a lot about boats, and he'll verify. He watched that boat get built, and he'll verify how good it is and all. All right, now I got a couple more pictures. Let's check this out. We're going. One of the things we like to do is talk about the different things you can do, and we mentioned this the other day about the hog hunting and all. Well, here it is, a great picture. This is Blake May. He and his dad, David May, they went fishing. I mean, they went hog hunting the other night with Muddy Rivers Outfitters and had a great time. Blake's a senior in college, and he's a good outdoorsman. Really, that's a good job. I talked to him 2-3 days ago, and they had a great time on that hog hunt. That's an ideal thing to do. Give Muddy Rivers a call, and they'll take you hog hunting anytime. Okay. Brandy Boyd, this is a fish bigger than she is. Good job, Brandy. All right, James Weslowski. James, one of my former students, finally caught a king. He said he caught him off the pier. He had I said that's a 20-pounder. They are catching some 20-pounders there off the pier. All right. Justin Leake took a party red fishing the other day, and they caught a bunch of redfish, of course. But it's a strong redfish bite, and we'll talk about that later. Good job, Justin, sending that in. All right, this next one, this is not a good situation right here, folks. This is Patrice Couch, and she's real active in our community with Bay Resource Management and all, and she works a lot with testing the bays. And a nice lady, got a son, 9 years old, and they love this kayak. Folks, somebody stole their kayak, and this is a old Hobie Mirage kayak. It just happened the other day. They had it locked on the trailer in the side of the yard, and it was it got a Sunjammer water sport sticker on it. It's a faded yellow orange. It's old Mirage. It doesn't have any rod holders or cup holders. That's one of the original ones they came out with, and it's an old Mirage kayak. So if y'all see somebody with an old faded kayak or something, let us know. That's a sad situation when somebody steals a kayak. And then I saw Brad posted on Facebook that he's heard in the last 2 weeks there's been 4 or 5 kayaks taken, really nice ones, throughout the Bay County area. So if you have a kayak, make sure it's secure and all. And if you see some at a pawn shop or something, maybe you want to check it out. I don't know why people steal somebody's kayak, but we might need to go back to the old days. Remember where they cut the hand off when it said in the Bible? We did that just a few times. If somebody stole something and they cut the hands off, I bet we won't have much problem with stealing anymore. Okay, that's just what I was thinking about. I got 1 or 2 more pictures. We talked about the dog flies the other day. The old saying was when the gardenias started blooming, the dog flies will start biting. I've heard that since I was a kid. Now, these are gardenias in my yard, on the side yard over there, and they just busted out this week. And remember I told y'all, see, I have my flip-flops on, my sandals. I got bit the other day, and I just want to show, here's another. My dog, Emmy Lou, wanted to be in the picture, so she came over and took another picture of it too. So these are gardenias blooming and dog flies biting. So there is something, you hear these old tales and all, and there's a lot of wisdom in those old tales. And I was fascinated. I got bit like Tuesday, and gardenia started blooming on Wednesday, I think. So, all right, let's move along. License-free days. Now we have some license-free days coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow's saltwater, so you can fish anywhere in Florida without a saltwater fishing license. The FWC does this a couple times a year, and June 1st is saltwater. Freshwater now will be June the 8th without a license. You go fishing tomorrow without a license, and then next Saturday you can go fishing freshwater fishing without a license, okay? Also, the FWC will be today, they're going to be down in Carabel off of the Timber Island Road. They're doing a little outreach program today. And also next Friday, they're going to be at the boat ramp of Lanark Village doing a little outreach program there. All right. Also, next Saturday, June the 8th, at Emerald Coast Redfish Club, they're having the Redfish Tournament here in Panama City. A good group of guys, about 25, 30 boats, and not much fun, competitive way to go red fishing. So that'll be next Friday also. All right, that takes care of this section here. Let's go ahead and take our break, and we'll be right back. Now, welcome back. Got a call last night. Jim Wilson called, and he wanted to talk about all the accidents we had on the water and all, and we got to talk, and he mentioned when I had Ken Pamela on, we were talking about boating safety and all. He wanted me to reiterate. he was watching the show the other day and said we forgot to mention about it's required now for kids under 6 years old to wear a life jacket on the boat. That's a law, and we didn't really mention that way. Jim wanted to be sure we mentioned. I appreciate Jim watching the show, but that's true now. So keep that in mind. Under 6 years old, and Jim was really he's been adamant about boating safety his whole career, and we talked about it a long time. Had a good conversation with him, and now the boat length, if the boat is under 26 foot, I looked it up and double checked it. We weren't sure while we were talking about it. I looked it up. If the boat is under 26 foot, the child, if it's under 6 years old, has to wear the life jacket at all times. So make sure that you know that, and make sure, and because a lot of people, we know it locally, but a lot of people come in and don't know that. So Jim, appreciate you calling. Enjoyed talking to you last night. Okay, now coming up, let's jump from fishing to the woods. Well, the longleaf pine, the native pine of the southeast and all, is slowly making a comeback. We used to have a bunch of longleaf pine, and then it came in and logged everything, and they just replanted in rows and all. But there's a huge movement now of trying to get the longleaf restoration project going. And so there's a workshop on this Tuesday. Now I'm telling you today because you got to register today. It's put on by the FWC, University of Florida. It's going to be the No Coos Plantation over in Ebro, and talking about the native species, how to restore, and how to do prescribed burns, and how invasive problems and all. Any of those things you want to know, cost sharing, they can help you out on it. Problems of planting. See, we've got a lot of sand pines now, but the problems of planting a longleaf and all. So should be a good workshop. You need to call the FWC today. Call this number. Let's see. Well, it's in the phone book. FWC. Call and tell them you want to register. It's free, and I also have a free lunch. And you can't beat that. You learn a lot about longleaf pine. But I got to think about that last night. And when I do my research and all, I collect a lot of pictures and all, not just fishing, but a lot of old historical pictures. And this is a copy of the original pine forest here in Bay County. This is out of West Bay. These are the original longleaf pines before they came in and got land. This is how the forest looked back in the days of when the Indians roamed in here and the early settlers came in here. This is the way the forest looked in this area. You have oak hammocks, and then you have these natural pines. This is the old yellow, they call them old yellow pine. The old timers did, the old yellow pine. I thought you might enjoy that picture there. They just randomly planted, and it's really, I really enjoyed seeing it. I just want to share that with you. Okay? Now, let's talk about the weather. A lot of people complain about it blowing. So if you're a boater and on the water all the time, it blows a lot. That is aggravating. There's also, on the plus side of the wind blowing this time of year, I was thinking I want to share with you, it's excellent time to go camping, especially tent camping. I used to love to tent camp in the springtime when you have this breeze coming out of the southeast. It's an ideal time to go camping. So you might want to, this weekend, just want to go spur of the moment and get your tent, run out to the state park or run somewhere and try to set it up so you got, where that breeze is open now. If you get up in a hammock or something and that breeze is not there, the bug's going to be real bad. But you get away, get out where that breeze is, and just do some tent camping, an excellent outdoor activity here in the Florida Panhandle. So keep that in mind too. And also with summer coming, we're going to be in June tomorrow. May's over with. The weather's going to start heating up, and we're going to talk more about that next week. And also I'm going to talk about, I have some other stuff planned, but I'm going to run out of time. I want to get into the fishing forecast. So we'll pick this up Monday, some of the things I didn't cover today, mainly about why everybody's so fascinated with red snapper. I will say this. Get my red snapper. The only fish that I put on the cover of my book was a red snapper. I put some men on it, but the only fish I put was a red snapper. And that was after years of research and hundreds of interviews with everybody, and just being around the waterfront. That's the fish that people went out. That's why everybody's so excited about going out tomorrow about the red snapper. There's something about it, and I'm going to show you some old pictures on Monday's show and talk about the red snapper. But anyway, let's get ready to do our drawing for a Tarpon Dock Seafood giveaway, and also we're going to set up our time. So let's go ahead and do the drawing. $20 gift certificate will be the first name we draw out of here. And remember now, you can register any time. The winner, and some people have been really nice. They'll call me up afterwards or email me just thanking me, and I appreciate that. We want to thank Tarpon Dock Seafood for doing it. Nice folks down there, giving folks. Okay, and the winner, $20 from Niceville, Sandy Jackson. Okay, Sandy Jackson, good job, Sandy. And now the winner of the big old red snapper, I hope I can win a big old red snapper tomorrow. Okay, and the winner of that is Helen Turner. Helen Turner. Okay, very good, Helen. You got the red snapper. 2 ladies won today. Now my plans tomorrow, I'm going to the Gulf Power Group. I go fishing with them once or twice a year. Sledge and a whole bunch of guys, Harold and all those guys that enjoy fishing with them. We're going on Billy Archer's Seminole Wind, weather permitting, and we are looking forward to it. Let's take a look at our fishing game forecast time for today. All right, brought to us by Mark Cowart, Edgewater Beach Realtor, 832-6000. Our times are 6:31 to 8:31 this morning, and 6:55 to 8:55 tonight. Excellent times right there. In fact, in that evening time, 2 nights ago, had students they caught 17 redfish in that time. Is late afternoon, early night time, Wednesday night. All right, we're going to take our break and come back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. All right, welcome back, folks. We'll get started with our famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Tarpon Dock Seafood. And if you get a chance, run down there. They got all kind of fresh seafood, and I know they're going to have plenty of snapper this weekend. Let's get started over in our western end of our viewing area, and we're going to zoom on in to Choctawhatchee Bay, okay? And I got some reports fishing off the causeway. You know where that bridge is, okay? I'm going to zoom in on the bridge. All right, check it out right here. There's a causeway, and it makes a lot of sense. Let's go to this first section up here. I'm going to zoom on in. Okay, it's excellent fishing. You can see right there where the redfish will actually come in and out of here. And they're all channeled into here, so you can park your car here and fish off these rocks. And I've got, I know people have said they were catching some redfish coming out of there. Okay, and also they were catching some sheephead earlier from that same spot there. So that's one of the hot spots in Choctawhatchee Bay. Also, now if you want to do some surf fishing is going to be excellent over there. I've got some reports where people limited out on Pompano. They've caught a lot of sand fleas over there toward between Inlet Beach and the Santa Rosa over there, and they limited it out by catching those sand fleas and catching some. And that was close to. Let me show you what we're talking about. Right down here past Seagrove Beach in that area right there. Can y'all see that area right there? Excellent fishing in that area. But the best thing to do if you can catch those sand fleas, let's go for them and just put one hook in them. Just hook them one time. Now let's go to come over here to East Bay and West Bay here in Panama City. Excellent reports from East Bay. I saw some pictures. I saw some pictures on Facebook, and the people sent me pictures too. Some nice trout being caught in East Bay. On my report now, if you don't get this report here, you can always get it online. I put all this information online. Also, amberjack bite offshore, the AJ bite's been really good. Okay, the best thing to do though is to if you can get around the Tyndall Bridge. They were telling me they were catching Spanish from the shore at Tyndall Bridge. Okay, just fishing there is an excellent place to park on the Tyndall side and come in there and try to fish some Spanish. And best thing to do is just throw some gotcha plugs. If you can wade out from the Tyndall Bridge, okay, let me show. Let's go and zoom on in here, this area I'm talking about. It's going to be one of the hot spots right here. Okay, we'll zoom all the way in here. This is on the east side of the Tyndall Bridge. And what they're doing, okay, you can park right down here to the, park right down this area right here. So anybody drive over the park, and you want to wade out. It's shallow. This is shallow up here on both sides. But see, it starts getting deeper right here, and people parking here. And I've seen people fishing here. You're not going to catch much fish here, but if you can get on out, way here to the edge and cast in there, those Spanish are coming right through here just like that, okay? That's an excellent spot to go. Now, let's go down. Let's go quickly over here to, I'm going to go again to Deepwater Point. Deepwater Point, again, it's really caught a lot of fish right here. I had students, like I say, and they caught 17 redfish night before last, and they were in a boat now. They put the boat right here, and the redfish are coming through on a falling tide. And folks that were hitting top water. They were throwing top water there. It was right there at dark, between 6 and 8 o'clock when that time was. Now let's quickly go down. Let's get a Gulf County report. I'll give that report myself because you saw the video yesterday. I'm going to show you exactly where I was catching these fish, okay? We'll go down to Indian Pass. The best thing, and again, you can drive this area right here. All right, Indian Pass. I want to show you exactly where those whiting were. Now, we're fishing, we're doing a lot of shore fishing here. Okay, you go down right here. Okay, it's a boat ramp. Let's see. All right, little light color right there. But anyway, you can drive down right through here and park. That's the boat ramp at Indian Pass. It's the St. Vincent Island here. I was going to try to fish back up in here, but the breeze was blocked off by the island, so I had to drive down about 500 yards. And there's a vacant lot right here between some houses. And anytime you can fish on the beach and all, that's great. But never park in front of somebody's house right there. There's always vacant lots along the beach in that area. So drive down to the vacant lot and just find a spot. But don't park right in front of somebody's house and set up everything like setting up camp. We all own that property. It's just not good etiquette to just stop right there in the front yard and fish. So move on down and find an open spot. And that was about the third vacant lot from that area. You can always catch a whiting there. It's a good meal, and like I said the other day, they're second to none when it comes to eating. The edibility is excellent. You can put them on the grill or you can fry them, and good. And when you clean them, when you clean fish, you can look at them and tell what kind of meat it is. And we had pompano Saturday night, and Sunday night we had whiting, and both of them were excellent, fresh food. Now we got I just talked to Carabel, like I said earlier. They did really good with the inshore on triple tail. Triple tail bite's been pretty strong throughout our region. You sort of got to know where to go, and the best thing is find some kind of crab or trap, fish around, or some kind of buoy. Those triple tails will hang around there, and the best way to fish for them is float a live shrimp right by them, and they cannot resist it, and they are some kind of fighting fish. And again, the edibility on those triple tails is excellent. But the big news for this weekend, of course, will be the red snapper season opening. I know a lot of y'all going out. Again, I want to say keep an eye to the weather. What the seas is going to be critical. If you're in a small boat, the worse it's going to be. So if you're in a big boat, and hopefully you'll be able to get out and do some serious fishing. So that's going to wrap it up for the week. Good luck on your fishing this weekend. I know a lot of y'all going out, but irregardless, sometime today, you stop and do something good for somebody else, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.